maintaining these courts, but apparently a pebble or something got in there.
I actually think that hit the line, and no matter what you do, it's always going to take a little skid when it hits the line.
Unrelenting to the backhand of Graf. And the 16-year-old West German wins that long rally. It's 15-30. Had 3 straight service games. Lost 3 consecutive breaks.
Well, that can happen on the clay with women. Don't hit me, Joanne. Defend you the point then, if you...
Happens to men, too.
It does, indeed.
Especially on clay.
Ooh.
First double fault for Chris Evert Lloyd, and a double break chance for Graf to get back at 3-all.
Boy, that's a terrific volley.
30-40.
I like the look of Chris Evert Lloyd. Nice touch volley. And on clay, that's really tough because the ball sits up. So unless you make a perfect volley, Steffi Graf, who's very quick, will run it down.
There's that inside-out forehand, Joanne, and it's 3-all.
Game Graf. Games are 3-all.
Here's a look from our little peanut camera here, and Steffi wins that point because she waits until the very last minute, and Chris has already committed.
Believe it or not, that is a television camera, that little lipstick size device just off the clay surface.
It's our peeping Tim.
Love 15.
Chris is so smart. She loses 2 points because she just gets into a belting match with Steffi Graf, and on that return, she lobs to the backhand, changes the pace, and Steffi makes an error.
We'll be tracking that unforced backhand statistic.
Love 30.
So 4 straight service games lost, and Graf in the hole again. Love 30.
Steffi puts Chris out of position here. Now wait, she waits. Chris commits to the right. Steffi hits to the left. Simple shot.
Break point for Chris Evert Lloyd. Television is deceptive. One might think, just looking at the sizes of these two women, that Chris is the taller of the two. Not true. Graf is 6'5" 8 inches tall, 2 inches taller than Chris. On the line.
Ooh.
And the return of favor. Chris disagrees again.
Will you check your mark, please?
Now, Dick Saunders is asked right away by umpire Blakesley to check the mark.
Ball is good.
Now, that's the way it should be handled.
Score is 30-40.
This can make each of the players very nervous, constantly changing the calls.
No consistency.
Right.
No slice backhand that time as Graf rips the winner to earn deuce.
And Papa's smiling.
And she still hasn't gotten up to about 10 topspin backhands, but she just rips the ball here and passes Chris clean.
I remember in that marvelous U.S. Open match, 3 tiebreakers in which she beat Pam Schreiber at Florist Flushing Meadow last September.
From 15-40, advantage Graf.
And in that entire match, she beat Schreiber in the quarterfinals. Graf, of course, Schreiber was hanging on the net on every point, and Graf only hit 1 topspin passing backhand. And I said, well, at least you showed you have it. And she says, yes, I can do that more often, but I must build the confidence. She's building it now.
And the game to Graf. Chris with a couple of break chances, but Graf survives, hits 4-3. Winner, Rosie Casals.
The Rosebud. What a shot maker she was. She beat Nancy Ritchie. There's the man who started the tournament, Bob Young, former boss at Family Circle with the referee Lee Jackson. Oh, Rosie Casals. Has there ever been a better pure shot maker, man or woman, than Rosie?
Not that
Joanne?
I've seen.
No.
Love 15.
Well, that's a strong statement. The two of you are saying that Rosie Casals had the best ground strokes of
Not necessarily the best, but she made more shots. A shot-making genius. She could do everything. I saw her play when she was 15 years old the first time. My goodness gracious. Look who's up there.
Ooh, I love it.
15 all.
Here we have it on a little peanut camera, and she uses the whole court on this. Steffi runs off the court to the right, then she runs to the left, and Chris has a little winner. She must love it up at the net.
She's learning to love it. She used to think it was purgatory.
wide. 15-30. Chris recognizing now that she's in for a battle against Steffi Graf. It's 3-4, 15-30 in the first set.
One good thing about being German is that you can get away with saying a few words.
With what she
and you
just
don't get
said.
a penalty. She was saying, oh, I missed this ball by a hair. Chris doesn't like that call.
Oh, gosh.
And the second double fault, and break point goes with it. Graf a point away from a 5-3 lead here in the opening set. And she is broken again. That's 3 straight times that Chris Evert Lloyd has lost her service. And now Graf serves for the set.
The most amazing thing in that game was that Chris made 3 unforced errors on her backhand of all strokes to miss a ball on. She never misses over there.
Is that nerves?
Hey, everybody gets nervous.
What? We're talking about Chris Evert Lloyd. I know everybody else gets nervous.
That ball looked long.
Love 15.
Bjorn Borg would get nervous. He said, I get nervous, I hit cross court.
Love 30.
Well, when this kid learns to follow one of those shots to the net, she is really going to be a tremendous tennis player.
I have played doubles with Steffi, and she does have a very nice net game.
Yep.
But maybe she's in the same boat as Chris. She's just learning to be confident there.
Exactly.
Well, it took Chris, to age 30 before she has shown confidence in playing a more attacking style. And here's Graf, only 16. One has to think she's going to be really something special in the next 3-4 years.
She's not going to wait 14 years to go to the net, I don't think.
It's wide and a double break point.
15-40.
It built today, this Sunday, is a very special day for the West Germans. Bernhard Langer, the defending champion of the Masters, still very much in the hunt there. Boris Becker and Steffi Graf both in finals today. Becker has lost. We'll give you that score in a moment. And Evert Lloyd breaks back. They're on serve. 5-4 Graf.
Game Evert.
Dick Enberg with Bud Collins, Joanne Russell, Chris Evert Lloyd serving to stay in this first set. I want to send along our very best to all the good folks out at the San Diego Tennis and Racket Club. Scripps Hospital Hospice Program for the Cancer Center there. They're going to raise somewhere around $70,000, Bud. And a good friend of yours playing in the celebrity tournament today, Karen Hans-Sussman.
What a wonderful person and player. And you're going to be part of that, Dick.
Well, that got the schedule turned around, or I would have been there today.
Love 15.
Karen Hans-Sussman won Wimbledon in '62.
Steffi set this up with a great drop shot, and she goes the same way again. The last couple of passing shots of Chris at the net have been that off-angle forehand.
done by Graf. She's 2 points from the set.
Love 30.
Well, it's pretty interesting because Steffi now is exploiting Chris's backhand. You notice her backhand slices have gotten shorter and shorter, and Chris is being forced to come up and then run back.
Whoops.
Whoa, she thought it was a fault. Dick Saunders. Now, Graf was very ill-advised. Dick Saunders comes out.
Oh,
and corrects himself.
Clay does tend to bring out this sort of behavior, doesn't it?
Dan Guyton is the
no,
service
it's not
linesman.
Clay.
Well, you can see the mark. That's why they feel that they can go out and make a change, or it can be questioned. Wide, and it's a triple set point for Steffi Graf.
And Steffi was so sure of herself. I thought she'd made a terrible
Yes.
mistake stopping the point there.
That was pretty brave of the girl because you play everything is the rule.
Yeah.
I mean, forget it. These guys out there, they might not change their mind.
And Steffi Graf, for the first time in her 7 meetings with defending champion Chris Evert Lloyd, has won her first set against Chris.
Game and first set.
6-4.
Graf 6-4.
Breaking
And
her
look-
4 straight
Yeah.
times.
And Chris gets a little unlucky break there. And this time, she goes a different way. And it's that slice backhand that's actually setting it up. And once again, foot speed. She's there in plenty of time. Set point.
Lucky 13. That's the 13th set Graf has played against Evert Lloyd, and the first she's ever won.
Well, the athleticism of Graf displayed on that point.
15 love.
That's one of the things you have to become a champion or stay a champion. Foot speed. Look at this. Just makes it over there and hits it by Chris.
We told you earlier that in the WCT at Dallas, Boris Becker in the finals against Anders Jarrett and was defeated 6-7, 6-1, 6-1, 6-4. The Swede Jarrett beats Becker in the finals. I guess Becker just isn't the same when he's not on NBC.
Now this is definitely a different Chris because she lost 2 points at the net and she's still coming in and she makes a solid shot.
Not discouraged.
And attacks again.
That was a very difficult shot that Evert Lloyd made. Not only to make a good approach, but just to get it over the highest part of the net and with depth.
And with a two-handed backhand, she doesn't have a slice, so it's much more difficult.
Break point for Chris.
30-40.
Those eyes that could burn a hole through your graphite. Chris Evert Lloyd.
I know she's burned a hole through a few linesmen out there today.
Hazel and hellacious.
Oh, big serve for Graf to pull back into a deuce. Opening the second set, Graf, if you're just joined us, won the opening set 6-4.
Ooh, right down the middle. Steffi's always had a big first serve, but her second serve is the place where it needed a little improvement.
Another break chance
Advantage, Evert Lloyd.
for the defending champion. Graf held her serve only twice in the opening set. That was enough to win it. Chris Evert Lloyd breaks Graf to open the second set. Down a set.
Game, Evert Lloyd.
Nearly an hour. Steffi Graf, the underdog, winning the first set. What might be the standout number there is Chris Evert Lloyd's 15 unforced errors, a high total for her. Graf 12-6 in winners. Chris Evert Lloyd having broken Graf to open the second set, serving now one love.
But can Chrissy hold serve?
Lost 4 straight service games has Evert Lloyd. 4 apiece. Graf held twice, and that was enough to win the opening set 6-4.
She gets stung, and Joanne knows this. You take the first set from Evert Lloyd, but try to get those next two.
Yesterday, Chris said she didn't want to be out on the court hitting 20-ball rallies. Well, that was over 20 balls, and if she's lost the first set, she'll stay out there for 50 balls.
Forty low. Bud's graphic to start the telecast that Chris had lost only 3 sets here in nearly 100 sets, and so Graf winning the opener. That's news in itself. Chris Evert Lloyd. He leads 2-love, second set.
Evert Lloyd. He leads 2-love.
Pleased that you've taken time to join us here on this beautiful Sunday in South Carolina. Sorry we weren't with you yesterday. Is that baseball game over by any chance, Joanne? You were following it more closely.
53rd inning. They're still playing at Shibe Park. I think that's wonderful.
Well, we're already looking forward to our next stop on the NBC Tennis Tour, which will be Roland Garros in Paris. Late May for the 86 French Open Championship, and then on to Wimbledon, and 3 servings, live servings of breakfast at Wimbledon this year.
15 love.
Well, you know, tennis used to have abominations like that extra inning game until Jimmy Van Allen invented the tiebreaker, and I bet he could get a hold of Peter Ueberroth and give them a tiebreaker for baseball. Good play by Annalise Henneke from Kinston, North Carolina. She caught that ball. It's her birthday today.
Well, Steffi set that up well. Now watch, this is one way to keep Chris out of that point. Just bounce it over her head. Steffi Graf does not like the lob. Yesterday, she didn't use it against Hannah, but luckily she won. And today against Chris, she hasn't won too many points with the lob.
Thirty all.
What's it like, Joanne? You've won that first set against Chrissy many times over the last 20 years. What's
20?
it like in the second set?
It's purgatory, bud. Purgatory.
And you never got out.
Break point again to go 3-love in the second set for the 8-time Family Circle Cup champion.
Before I die, I want to go to Haines City and see the court where you played Chris Evert Lloyd for the first time 20 years ago, Joanne.
Who won that,
Joanne? Well, Chris did. But it was a heck of a match.
When was the last time you beat her?
Better
maybe
go back
being
to the tennis
born.
here. Yeah, you beat her by 2 months.